So with the PTB out, a lot of information has got leaked and a lot of information has been data mined, including some legendary skins that could be coming for our Resident Evil characters. Kings and queens, welcome back to the kingdom. Today we have some exciting news to talk to you guys about, as I mentioned, and there is quite a few things that we need to check off the list today. Before we do go ahead and jump on into it, two quick things. Number one, as always, we're live on Twitch. Hopefully we can see you guys there. You guys have been coming out and showing your support every single time, and I really do appreciate that. So hopefully we'll see some folks coming out today. On top of that, we are hosting a art contest similarly to last year. If you guys want to take part in this and compete for some cash prizes, the link and information will be down in the description below. With that being said, let's talk about the new information that was leaked to us. So starting off, we got some data mine information that indicates that we might be getting 2 legendary skins in Dead by Daylight coming on in. This is going to be legendary skins for a male and female character, and this could be attached to the Resident Evil chapter, bringing on skins for Chris and Claire. This would make a lot of sense to have legendary skins for the survivors. There has been arguments that it could be for killers as well, and we could see like a Mr. X coming on in or Lady D. But then again, the power just doesn't really make sense, in my opinion, to have those characters using a tentacle. So it's more than likely to be the survivors. And if it is going to be the survivors, the ones that we've been talking about all along have been Chris and Claire. And it logically just makes a lot of sense to bring them in. Now, on top of that, there was also some data mine information that says they're going to be adding in custom icons, names, legendary cosmetics, as well as character portraits, backstories, and biographies for these legendary characters coming on in. This is a huge stepping stone for DBD. It's actually going to give more incentive for you to want to play as these legendary characters, as there's a lot more to them. We might even start seeing custom voices for them, and maybe one day down the line, even custom perks for them. It's really awesome to bring in a killer and to make, you know, a very unique perk, but on the survivor side, you just basically have a reskin with 3 new perks. If we are actually getting maybe 1 or 2 or 3 new perks with these characters as well, I think that would be something that would be out of this world, and people would actually be inclined to buy some of these legendary skins. Now, they obviously have to be careful when it comes down to making these perks, because you don't want something to be pay to win and then have like a really strong perk if you bring out like 1 perk per character, and then everyone goes to buy that character and everyone complains that it'll be pay to win. So it's a tricky slope that they would need to go about. But for now, we're not getting any of that, so we don't even need to worry about any of that. Instead, we're going to be getting a lot more of information and bits and stories for these new legendary skins, which adds a whole new dynamic to them, which I'm pretty happy about, and hopefully they can revisit the old legendary skins and do the same for them. So even more information on these legendary cosmetics that are going to be coming out for Jill and Leon is that these cosmetics are going to have their own voice lines. This is huge news as well. Again, it just makes more incentivized to buy these legendary characters. And if you guys haven't seen the Easter egg already when you're actually mooring Jill, stars is being said by Nemesis, and this also applies during a Mori for the legendary cosmetic for Leon, which again, more than likely means we're going to be seeing Chris coming into the game, which is going to be awesome. I can't wait to play as him. He has his own voice lines, his own portraits, his own story. Everything's going to be there, and it's going to be really, really awesome. Talking about legendary skins from Myers, we got some awesome renders for Johnathan Byers coming on into the game. As we know, Johnathan Byers is probably going to be coming out this week or so if data miners are correct. So we're going to be seeing that, and maybe they actually introduce that feature now or maybe after when the actual chapter gets dropped. And we'll see him having, you know, his own character portraits as well as lore and backstory, and his own animations would be pretty cool. They actually updated his animation and has been fixing the PTB, so we'll be seeing that coming on in, which is really, really awesome. On top of that, we got the 5th year anniversary hooks and generators that have been updated. The fire barrels and everything like that will be the same, but as you know, DBD said that we're going to be celebrating the 5th year, and a bunch of things are going to be changed. So on screen right now, what you're seeing, shout out to Myers again, you have yourself the amazing hooks that are going to be coming into the game. One of them is really, really entity driven, and I really like it. The other one is your standard hook, and then your generators have the balloons and the little banners to celebrate the 5th year, which is pretty cool. So this is going to be coming out when the 5th year anniversary comes out. I got my dates confused. It's either coming out on June 14th or the 1st of July. I'm not entirely too sure, someone can correct me in the comments because I don't exactly know the correct date, and I've tried to look for it and I couldn't find it. So if anybody could correct me on that, I would really appreciate that. The next thing that we have to talk about is that the Pride Charm is now in Dead by Daylight. If you guys didn't already know, you can go ahead and go into the redeem section, type in Pride, and grab yourself the Pride Charm and wear it. I'm really happy that it is finally in the game. Next on the list is that wiggling will now be replaced by skill checks. This is pretty awesome. This was actually leaked in the tutorial that is going to be coming out. As you guys know, they said that they have reworked their tutorial, which also has been leaked and updated on how that's going to be looking. We're not going to cover it in this video because it's not super significant, but we'll still show you guys the wiggling. And it now says you can try to wiggle free from the killer and avoid being picked up. Press the wiggle prompt as shown, and it shows that you have multiple skill checks to actually hit while you're being wiggled. Now, this looks a little bit weird. You know, normally we're used to one skill check, but it's really awesome. Instead of spamming 2 keys or wiggling your controller, I really like this update. I think this is something that should have been in the game a very, very, very long time ago. This is really awesome, and I'm very happy for it. They changed this with hook struggling, and now they are changing it to wiggling, and I'm very happy about this. Now, some people are upset that everything is turning into skill checks, which is understandable because everything is kind of getting this blanket wave of just skill checks for every little thing. So hopefully in the future they can make some variations. We've seen a lot of other games use the same skill check mechanic, but you had to use random like selections of RNG of different buttons. So on keyboards, like if you remember a long time ago, hide or die, when you were actually flipping the switches, there was a bunch of different buttons you need to press. If you remember the other game, I don't even remember the name, Home Sweet Home, there was 2 buttons, I believe it was X and Y, that you needed to swap in between, and you had to press at the right time. This would actually add a little bit more skill into the skill checks, and I wouldn't mind doing something like that. But again, we'll see what they end up doing. A lot of people are saying they might eventually do this for totems and even exit gates, and we'll see what the future holds, and we could talk about that at a later time if they do announce anything else and how balancing and things like that would work. But for now, it is quite nice. And a final bit of information that we do have for you guys is with the Tome. Again, shout out to Leaks DBD for all the information. It says that the Tome is going to have 10 lore entries for Jake, 9 for Clown, and 10 for the Observer. There's also going to be a yellow Glyph challenge, and Elodie is going to be getting some specific challenges involving her. So that's going to be pretty awesome. I can't wait to see what they're actually going to be doing with this. And the yellow Glyph is quite interesting. I'm very intrigued of what they're doing with these challenges and how it's all going to come together. Moving on, we also got some information about future archive events coming on in. As we know, when the live stream was taking place, Matthew said that there's going to be new ways to tell the stories that are coming. So this is going to be interesting on how the archive events are going to be working. And I've always said in many videos that Dead by Daylight needs this big overarching story with the Observer, with the archive, so people can be attached to what's to come in these chapters. And they're not necessarily just like, you know, random things that's tossed in, but more of a story-based driven thing. So hopefully we'll be seeing that, and they've been leaning towards that, so I'm pretty excited about that. But my friends, that is going to wrap it up for today's video and all of the information that we basically missed throughout the week. As I said, we're going to be making these videos covering all of the bits and pieces of information that we missed and bring them all into a video for you guys, nice and summarized. I hope you guys did enjoy. Again, we are live on Twitch, and thank you guys again for all of the love and the support with all the chapter stuff. It makes me very, very happy to make this content and to see you guys enjoying it, and it just put me in a great mindset and a great spot, and I really can't thank you guys enough. Again, our contest is going on. We're live on Twitch, and the merch store is now revamped and alive once again. You can actually check it out in the description. It shows you everything, so feel free to browse and make some suggestions on it. But that's going to wrap it up for this video. As always, I'm the King. That's in my crown to you guys, and we'll see you in the fog.